Amateur featuring Rami Malek came out this year in 2025. This movie follows a guy that works in the CIA, works on computers, but when his wife dies, he uses the skills he knows from basically what he works on to go kill the people who killed his wife. So with that, you may think a few things like, this sounds pretty cool, but at the same time, if mishandled, it would just come off as very bland. Is this movie bland? Fairly, other than a couple things here and there, like Rami Malek's performance, which genuinely does a good job. He does a nice job as this character who's truly broken, who's out of his depth, and is trying to do this thing that he's never done before. He's out of his depth, like I said. And now, when you think of that, you might think of a few cliches that this movie luckily does not go into just because Rami Malek's a good actor and he's able to do more things with his performance and just resort back to those cliches, which does help a lot. And then you have the action, which there's a big problem here. All the big action was shown in the trailers. And I shouldn't even say big action, I mean the only action in this movie. Because since he's not just John Wicking everybody, he has to prepare for each person's death, which there's like 4 or 5. So all around, it's really just prepping for the death. Not the action, but like the scene occurs where they die. It's cool and stuff. Like the pool scene where it's like there's this pool over the skyline and it falls, it cracks, it decompresses and all that. Which was shown in the trailers, which is one big fault of this film, is that a lot of things that were really cool that you was like, okay, I'm gonna go see that. Which is kind of what the film feels like it's building up to, even though you've already seen it in the trailer, so why see it in a theater? Because you've already seen it in the trailer, so it just kind of defeats its own purpose. Because if you're looking for anything but the action, the only thing to really see here is Rami Malek's performance. There's nothing else here that's good or engaging. It's really just fairly bland because they can't focus on anybody else because this movie's based off a book. If you didn't know that going in, the movie's going to feel really weird. If you did know that going in, it's going to do nothing but hurt your experience. It's just a bunch of fairly forgettable characters who fit into movies you've seen a billion times before with dialogue you've seen a billion times before. And since it's based off a book, there's a lot of characters that are just in here for no reason that are important to the book, apparently. Like, Jon Bernthal's character, right? I read the synopsis of the book, I learned a little about the book, and like, sounds important, right? His character sounds important. Jon Bernthal's character in this film is literally only here, I don't know why. A lot of the characters are here for basically no reason. That's kind of why I kind of wish they would have went a different direction. Like, they still have kept the same, like, plot from the book, but they would have changed a lot. Not just here, where they're kind of, like, half-assing it. They're staying so close to the book while also cutting off a lot of different threads and characters. So, all around, the movie just feels empty. And that's another thing. I think this movie is really good in a lot of parts, but there's just something that feels so empty about this movie that I feel like if they would have done a little bit more, just a little bit more, it could have been something great. But it's just too bland for its own good. And yeah, that's really my thoughts on it. Yeah, if you enjoyed this video or any of my other content, please subscribe and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.